Ventforet Kofu, the Japanese team that currently plays in the second tier of Japanese football, has seemingly shocked the Asian football scene and is slowly starting to make waves in world football. Their story this season has been amazing, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the magic story of Ventforet Kofu. Yo, what is going on, my YouTube people? 2099 back here with another video, and in today's video, like I said, we're going to be exploring the realm of Ventforet Kofu, the second tier Japanese team who has done a lot. And if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, stick around so you guys know exactly what I'm trying to portray here with this fantastic team. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, join all of my socials. They will be down in the description for you guys to check out. My Twitter, Discord, TikTok, all that will be down in the description for you guys to check out. And without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is, who is Ventforet Kofu exactly? Like I've said, they're a second tier division team, so they play in the J2 league as of now. But the reason why they are so special compared to the other teams in that same league is because they managed to qualify themselves to the Asian Champions League. Yes, the Asian Champions League with all the big teams, you know, Al Hilal, Al Nasser, and these sort of teams that are much more stronger than J2 teams, if we're being completely honest. But yep, they managed to make all the way up till there, and their story is actually pretty remarkable. So they all started in 2022 when they won the Emperor's Cup. The Emperor's Cup essentially is Japan's annual contested cup, which takes place, and the final team, the team that wins it, gets qualified to go and play in the Asian Champions League. Now, how they got into it is they actually earn a second direct round entry alongside all the J1 and J2 teams that, you know, are participating into that cup. And what happened is that they faced a university team, which they easily won. And from then on, they only played J1 league teams all the way through the final and won it, which I think that is a beautiful story just by itself, because it's not like they kind of, I guess you can say, went through some of the J2 teams and, you know, kind of got there in the end. They only faced, I guess you can say, one team that they were expected to beat, and they were underdogs in all of the rest. They beat teams like Hokkaido Consadole Sapporo, they beat Sagan Tosu, they beat Avispa Fukuoka, and in the final, they beat Sanfrecce Hiroshima. So these are teams that are very big in Japan. They beat those teams. So this was the first time that a J2 team managed to qualify for the Champions League. So they got there and they played the AFC Champions League while being in the second division. But it gets even better because they got there on their debut in September. So this is not longer. We're in December currently at the time of recording. So they played their first AFC Champions League against Australian side Melbourne City. So they were actually drawn in with 3 other teams, which are pretty tough teams. So they were drawn in with Melbourne City from Australia, Buriram United from Thailand, which you may have heard in the past, and the Zhejiang Professional from China. And if I told you that they actually made it out of this group first, would you believe me? Because that's exactly what they did. They won the group with 11 points and they qualified. The first game that they actually played was a 0-0 tie against Melbourne City in Melbourne itself. And then they picked up their first ever win in the Champions League, and they actually won in a pretty cool fashion. They scored in a 90th minute to secure a 1-0 win at home against Buriram United. And anyways, they won 3 other games, they lost 1 and they drew 2 of their games, giving them 11 points, topping the group, sending them to the knockout stages, where they're going to be facing Ulsan Hyundai FC, which is a pretty tough opponent, if we're being honest. Very tough opponent indeed. They're actually called Ulsan HD now. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Ulsan HD. It's a matter of time until they're called Ulsan 4K. Yeah, that was a terrible joke. Nevertheless, will they be able to shock Asian football yet again and beat Ulsan Hyundai to be able to, again, go further in the competition? That is something that we have to see. But it's just amazing story in general. Now, some of the honorable players that I think should be talked about is their top scorer, Peter Utaka. He's 39 years old. He's got 12 goals in the league, and he's been doing fantastic in the Champions League as well. So it's very nice to see these type of obscure players that no one really knows, but they're smashing it. They're doing so well. And their top assister, or the players with the most assists, as one would say, would be Motoki Hasegawa with 6 assists in the league. And Peter Utaka actually is also tied with 6 assists in the league. So Peter Utaka, this guy is on another level. 39 years old, and he's producing that numbers. Even though if it's in the second division, he's doing it in the Champions League. So no one can say anything to him. He's been amazing, and it's very nice to see. The last thing I want to add about Ventforet Kofu is, unfortunately for them, they were not able to get promoted to the first division in Japanese football. They actually finished 8th with 64 points, and they weren't far off of a promotion spot or a qualification spot to try and get into the J1. But it was very, very tight. The Japanese second division is usually always very, very tight. But the last season that just ended, so the 2023 season that ended, Machita Zelvia was the team. They actually ran away with it with 87 points. But for the most part, the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, seventh, and even 8th positions were very, very close. And like I said, Kofu were only, I think, 3 or 4 points away of getting into a qualification spot to get promoted to the first tier. And you've still got to respect them for that, because they've got the Champions League to take care of. So it's not easy, especially with a team that is in the second division. These guys don't have money, or they don't have the star power to breeze through these fixtures. They're gonna get burnt out at some moment, and playing against some of these teams day in, day out, each week, is very difficult. They're not going to always win, even if they're doing very well in the Champions League. I think that's just common sense. Nevertheless, this was the story of Ventforet Kofu. Will their wonder tale continue in 2024? Will they be able to beat Ulsan Hyundai, or should I say Ulsan HD, or will they fall out, and that will be the end of this fairy tale? Let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys think about this team, and if you guys have learned anything new. I love covering these sort of stories. It's new to football. It's something refreshing, something new to find out of. Football is such a huge game. There's always stories around the world, and this is one of them. Like I said, if you guys are into the channel, please make sure to subscribe, like the video, join all my socials, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. I wish you guys a happy holidays and a happy new year from myself, 29 United. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Damn, I'm on red alert. Now she went up in the dirt, man.